Sennen Cove. You may have heard of it. About as far west as you can go in this country, Sennen offers access to a great area to fish. Sennen has a picturesque little harbour and a beautiful sandy beach, which makes this a popular destination for tourists in the summer. It has 2 car parks by the water with public toilets in both, all the shops and amenities you would expect from a seaside town. The slipway next to the lifeboat station is very steep, and the tides in this area can be pretty savage and can have a large tidal range, as I found out at the end of this video. Good morning and welcome to Kayak Fishing Cornwall. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Owen. I live in, well, more or less the southwesternmost part of England, just by the Lizard Peninsula, which has got some amazing coastline, some fantastic fishing opportunities on reefs not too far from shore, and I love to go out and lure fish. Today I'm at Sennen. This is the first time for me at Sennen, so I'm pretty excited, although it's a little bit more wobbly than I was anticipating, but I quite often say that. Sennen is arguably the sort of mecca for fishing around here on boats and kayaks, because there's some incredible reef not too far from shore. I've fished it a lot with off boats. I say a lot, quite a few times I've fished it off boats and that. Yeah, there's just so much reef around here to fish and explore. It's where most of the local charter boats end up coming out to the Runnelstone, which is down that way towards Land's End. So today I'm going to, I'm not going to go far because this place is notorious for the strength of the currents down here. So I'm not going to go too far offshore. I'm just going to head off to the right, I think, to start off with, and try and get out to that point there. Oh, there's birds diving over there. Okay, maybe I'll head for those birds. Yeah, give it a bash with the lures, see if we can get some bass and pollock. Right, those of you that follow the channel will notice I haven't been out for quite a while. It's not for the want of trying. I haven't been out since the end of November fishing, which has been horrendous. It does my head right in when I can't go out and fish, but one thing or another, I was ill all through December, and then the weather, only being able to fish on the weekends. You know, you've got to get the weather right on the weekend, and it's just not falling right. And when it has, 2 occasions my van's broken down, and I did actually get out once, but I went a couple of 100 yards, and I thought, you know, this is too lumpy and I'm out here on my own. If I go in the water, it's going to be cold, 11.6 degrees. So that's it. Yeah, this is the first time I've really hit the water with any sort of good prospect of decent weather, and that's why, well, I looked at the webcam yesterday just to double check what my sort of instincts were telling me, and yeah, it confirmed it was pretty good down here. So here I am. I'm going to give Sennen a bash. Not going to go far, just heading off to the right. Probably take me half an hour to pedal across there, but I'll troll all the way. I did see some birds hitting the water a minute ago, so I head roughly in that direction. We're on really big tides, which probably, you know, if you're on a boat, that's all right, isn't it? But I'll have to be careful today. But, you know, on the plus side, there's a lifeboat station just over there, so if I do get into trouble, they haven't got far to come. Got my whistle, got my radio, got my PFD on, you know, as anyone with any sense would. It's a stunning morning. Sun's blazing, sky is blue, a few fluffy clouds, a few fun trails of planes in the air. Got a lot offshore, light breeze. Yeah, it's stunning. I think it'll heat up a bit soon. It was very cold this morning and I had to scrape the windscreen off the car. Or the ice off the windscreen off the car. Hopefully it'll be worth it. All I want is, you know, a couple of decent fish. Ooh, oh, there's something happening under me there. Yeah, definitely something down there. Mid-water, 6 to 8 metres. I've rigged a... Oh, let's see, now I'm wishing I brought my bait rod, my feather rod, because there's a shoal or something there. 6 to 8 metres, that's probably about where my lures are. So if it's big mackerel, don't look like big marks. We'll see if I get a whack in a sec. Distracted, got distracted by fish. Where was I? Oh yes, yeah, this year, yeah, slow start, but I do have some plans for this year. I'm keen, you know, as usual, to get out on the water whenever I can. I'd like to broaden my horizons a little bit this year. Pretty much 99% of my fishing last year was lures, and I love it, but you're limited to what you're going to catch, aren't you, with just lures. So oh look, no, I'm getting distracted again. That's a big ball of fish down there on the bottom. I'm going to put a little pin in there. I'm going to put a pin in there and I'm going to drift that with... I'm getting distracted. Let's do that quickly. So, yes, bait fishing. I'm going to do some fishing at anchor with bait, because I'd like to try and eat some different fish. I'd like to try and catch some different fish. So expect to see me do a bit of that this year. I am absolutely by no means an expert on that kind of fishing, or any kind of fishing to be fair, but less so on the bait fishing. So it'll be a bit of a learning experience for me, but yeah, rays, congers. I'm going to have a little crack in Helford. I'd like to get myself a gilthead bream this year. It's one of those things that would be nice to cross off the list. I've got quite a few more places I'd like to do sort of introductory videos to, where I talk about the launch and the, you know, what's available to look for and conditions and things like that. So I've got a few of those planned. Right, I got distracted then. Get to where you're going. That's, unless I see something I can't pedal by, I just need to get into the practice of getting to where I'm going. The forecast for today, it's a bit of an odd one down here, because I've not fished it before. I've not got used to sort of working out what the magic seaweed forecast will actually mean when you get down to this place. So it was saying like 4 foot swell and 12-second interval, with that interval then extending up to maybe like 18 seconds or something. So by lunchtime that swell will be non-existent. It will feel non-existent. Right, I've just pedalled over a peak and it is absolutely thick with fish. Not sure what sort of fish, but I'm going to drift over it with the Savage Gear sand eels, see if I can get anything off of it. Been on the water a while now, could do with the fish. Just to get the blank off. I'll drift it a couple of times. If I don't get anything, I will, come back, drift it again with a different lure. So I'm just dropping my lures to the bottom and then slowly reeling them up. I'm in 14 metres of water. So I'll reel them up about halfway, so that's about 14 tons on these reels. That's a fish! At last! Beginning to wonder what was going on. Bit dead weighty. Yeah, that's because I hooked a tiny pollock in the gut. Right, come on, Sennen can do better than that. One tiny pollock. Lots of fish on the bottom. Down there. Right, I'm out over some pretty deep reef here. I'm just I stopped pedaling. I just want to see what direction I'm going to go in, and then once I've seen the drift, I'll try and figure out the best way to target the areas I want to. I've got my biggest my biggest Savage Gear sand eels on. Ultimate faith in these things. They're going to produce me a fish. I'm sure of it. But we're in 30 metres of water here, and we've got a big drift on, so it might be a challenge. Right, I've pedalled back to start a new drift. Now I know what way the drift's going to go. I'm going to aim to go over a couple of peaks in the reef. Well, actually, I think I'm going to miss them there. It's not really good out. Pedal this way a little bit. Get a little bit of momentum this way. I think that's looking better. So I've got the white Savage Gear sand eel on now. I didn't realise how unfit I'd got actually. Few months out of practice and a month alone on the sofa reel, and my legs have really lost any sort of condition they had. That was hard work. So I'm going to keep this drift a little bit shorter. The swell actually has really got bigger. Big interval in it, but it's quite a big lump when it goes underneath you. Right, you see me looking about. All of a sudden, it's like something's happened here. I can hear waves and all splashing behind me. And all of a sudden, a really close chop's come on the water. Wonder if the tide's shifted. I was expecting it to be hard work today because the tides are big and the wind is slightly more than I'd like down here. So I knew it might be difficult. But with big tides, I was convinced there's going to be some fish. More fish than this anyway. Been on the water. Well, a good 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I've had one little tiny pollock and one bite, I think. Couple of marks there that look fishy. Come on, don't send me home with one tiny pollock. Just show for it. Fish! 3 hours. It's no monster, but you know, I'll pretty much take anything. Be happy with anything. Oh look, well, it's a bass. That's not a bad bass. Yay! Ah, if only. Well, say not bad bass, it's a schoolie. But it's, well, there you go. Oh, am I glad to see you, fish. Now I can have a video with 2 fish in it. Let's measure it. Just, no, I know we're not allowed to keep them at the moment, but I'm going to measure it. Make the most out of it. So, he is. He's only 41, but I'm very pleased to see that little bass. Thanks, little bass. That was on the Storm Biscay 360 in mackerel flavour. Right, I'm going to drift that again. That's given me a little ray of hope. Right, I just thought I'd bang the feathers on and see if I could rustle anything up. And we got summit. Haha! Yeah, a couple of mackerel. Ordinarily not something to get too excited about, but on a day as slow as today, I'm happy with that. Right, I'm heading in. My legs are tired, my back's tired. I've been on the water about 4 hours, I suppose. It's around low water now. So, yeah, I'm going to head back in. Not prolific by anyone's standards, but I've got a couple of mackerel for lunch. So, I'm happy with that. Yeah, tons to explore down here if you do come out here, but just be aware that tides are tricky down here, especially the further you go towards Land's End. There's all sorts of different sort of tides that meet at that point, and it becomes very interesting in a big tide. So be mindful of that, and yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. If you're coming down this way, Sennen's definitely worth a shout. It was £6 for the car park for the whole day, which isn't too bad really. So, you know, I might just wander off and find myself a coffee somewhere from one of the numerous ice cream and coffee shops that there is down here. In the summer, obviously, the car park's going to be busy, so bear that in mind. And I did notice I'm in the car park, I suppose that's the western car park, past the lifeboat station. Long wheelbase vans aren't allowed, so, well, anything over 5 metres, which rules mine out. I was thinking about bringing it, but there isn't that many big spaces there, so I came in the car today just to be on the safe side, and I'm glad I did, because I wouldn't have been allowed to park the van there anyway. And the other car park, which is on the right at the bottom of the hill, is much bigger, but once again there's no really big spaces, so anything bigger than like a, you know, sort of short wheelbase van, I think you'd struggle to get it in there, to be honest. Anyway, the forecast is good for tomorrow. I'm going to get out tomorrow, I think, and hopefully find myself a pollock worthy of the table. Thanks for joining me today. There should be plenty more to come this year, hopefully with plenty more fish. I'm heading back in here. I'm not sure coming in at low water was a brilliant idea. because the big tide it must have gone out a long way as well. I've got my rod tied in. I might do my bag up as well actually. There's a bit of a roll going through there. This could get interesting. I don't even know if the water reaches all the way to the flaming slip where it's gone out that far. Right, I'm just going to have a pause. Yeah, look at that bit. Can you see that behind me? Look at that one. In fact, that one looks terrifying. Oh, I'm going to turn into this. It's a long walk with the kayak if I can't get into the harbour car park. Right, so there's a lesson there for anyone watching this. If the tides are big and you're coming at low tide, there ain't a lot of water here in the harbour. I think I'm going to be pushing this onto rocks. Is that a little channel? Oh, let there be a channel. Oh, it looks like there is. I can see my pedal drive coming unstuck here though. Oh my God. Push that paddle out. Going on the paddle. Oh, that's a stone. This is the end of the road. Yeah, that's the end of the road.